When I first finished school, I could barely talk to girls because I was so awkward and weird. And, being 16 and barely having a half decent interaction with a woman, it's just fucked. Like, it's so embarrassing. But, fast forward to now, I'm 18 and I've had lots of experience with multiple women, and I'm with a beautiful, loving, polarized, feminine woman. And the road to get here was it was long, and I look back and I see all the mistakes I made, but that's why I'm here now to hopefully teach you some of those mistakes and how to avoid them, so that you can fast track your way to you know getting some bitches. There's four parts in today's video, and part one is looking good. Um, just imagine, just picture this. This like fat, ugly guy walks up to this like 9 out of 10 girl. She's blonde, she's beautiful, and he walks up to her and he's like, "Hey, I think you're really pretty. I love your hair." Imagine what she's gonna go back to like her girls and think. She's gonna be like, "Ew, what was that? Absolute gremlin." And she's when she sees him approaching, she's just gonna be like, intimidated, because this like it's the halo effect is so real, and it's like the better you look, the better people will think of you. Like, she's gonna be looking at him while he's walking over, thinking that, what does he want? Like, he wants something. He's weird, he smells, and he looks like he's ugly. Whereas, if this guy walks up to like some beautiful woman, and he like, just walks up to her, compliments her, gets her number, and just walks away, she's gonna be thinking like, wow, like super muscular guy just walks over, and he's gonna be seen as a Chad if he walks over and approaches that girl. Whereas if the fat guy does it, he's gonna be seen as weird and like gross. So just by looking different, you can change people's initial reaction of you, and that's the halo effect. Is how you look, is how people perceive you, and how you get treated. And it's very real, coming from someone who was absolutely clapped. um, and part one, first step in part one, even, is growing the 5 key muscles, in my opinion. Some people say there are others, some people are saying the traps, but these are my top 5 that really made a difference in attracting women. The first one is the chest, and I think this is such a key muscle because it's part of like every pushing compound movement. Like, it's such a big area, and it just takes up so much space of your upper body. Like, yeah, your arms are cool and all, but this is your upper body. Like, and just having such a strong, like, masculine chest, like, when a woman, like, when you actually do eventually attract the woman and, she's cuddling in with you, she'll want to lean against your chest and not feel like squishy boobs. Like, just imagine that, like, your woman's leaning against you and just thinking, that's a bit soft, isn't it? Like, they're super attracted to, like, when your chest, hold on, goes, like, in and you can grab by there, like, oh, let me turn a little bit, when, like, there's a little dent and it comes out from, like, underneath your armpit. Love that. And when you get to that point where you've got, like, actual proper definition around your chest, because you've got to build the upper and the lower, because if you build just the upper, then the lower will look really saggy and it'll look like you've got boobs. But if you just build the lower chest and don't build the upper, then it'll just look like fleshy and weird. But it blends perfectly in with like the shoulders, and when those two, like, when you've got a pump and those two come together, it's great. And the second key muscle is the lats, the back. Everyone's favorite pole muscle. And the reason the lats are so important is because of something called the V taper. And that's basically where your body looks like a Dorito, like an upside down triangle, because the V taper is so primal. Like, even if a woman doesn't know she's attracted to it, her primal, like, feminine desires will look at that and think it's attractive. Like, it's not subjective, it's like built into a woman, same as how a man wants a girl with wide hips because she'll be more efficient at childbirth. A man with a V taper is a more strong man, and that's like the V taper is like when you sit here and you see that, it's like it goes down, like your lats come out and then up, and the lats come from like over here all the way down to like down here. Lats are absolutely massive, and the easiest way to build a lats is just lat pull downs, simple, and you can get an absolutely shredded back, and not even just for attracting girls, guys love a back. Like, you see a guy training like pull in the gym, he's just got a massive back, you just respect, innit? It's just straight respect. Because the back is one of the easiest muscles to look good when you're not even training it. And that pairs in perfectly with shoulders, because the shoulders are the second part of the V taper. Because when you build round shoulders and they come out, most importantly, they come out of like the width, then you get that proper V taper look. Because you can build the front delts and the rear delts, but the most important are the side delts. And you build those like, side lateral raises, overhead press, pretty much any shoulder movement. And they just enhance the V taper so much because your shoulders should be 1.5 times wider than your waist. That's like the perfect ratio of like a study of attractiveness or some shit, I don't know, sort of science and that. But yeah, the shoulders are just one of the best muscles to grow when you're lean as well, because you get like the little striations going down here, and like girls love it when you have that, and it just makes such a difference when you train your shoulders to look like more round than just using other movements, like actually incorporating training your shoulders into your plan instead of just using them as like auxiliary muscles, like muscles that you're not planning on training. And number 4 in the 5 key muscles is the biceps, because every massive bodybuilder has got these like absolutely huge peaks, and they're just like the Hollywood muscle. Other than the abs, they're like the Hollywood muscle. So the women are basing their attractiveness on primal desires and Hollywood because of rom-coms. So you've got to have the bicep. But important thing when training for arms is don't forget the tricep down here, because I never trained this part of the tricep. I think it's the medial head, because when you train this, like, you can see it's like not even like proper hard. Like, my arms aren't as big as they were like not too long ago, but like it pushes your bicep up, so your arm looks even bigger when you build this head. And I didn't even know you had to like build that head of the tricep. So make sure you're doing your skull crushers. And the last 5 of the 5 key muscles is the abs. Because you got to have a ripped six pack, to be, you take your top off in summer. And honestly, I've actually never had like, I've never been lean enough to have a full like not even a 4-pack, because I prefer being more like stocky and having the more rugged bare look, because I can't lie, I'd rather be able to bench 100 and not look as good as if I could bench 85. Probably just an ego thing, but And the most important thing with abs is you can train abs 3 times a week or 4 times a week. You could train abs every single day, but it doesn't matter if you're like above 15% body fat. Sub 15% body fat, you'll actually be able to see your abs. Like, you should probably only train abs once or twice a week because they're so slow at recovering. Like, a muscle like your lats or your quads or chest will recover in a day or two, whereas your abs will take a longer time to recover because you use them for everyday movement. So it'd be like doing one set of chest a couple of days after doing a chest, it's going to take longer to recover. But the key to having abs is being lean. Like sub 10, about 10% body fat, 10 to 15 is where you want to be healthy enough, but still be able to see them. And that just goes for all of them. Being in a low body fat percentage just helps accentuate all your muscles. Like, I'm definitely not as lean as I once was, because I've bulked up and, tried to put on some weight, tried to put on some muscle. So I'm not really in that stage where I can, like, flex my definition right now. Like, it's not great, but I have been there, and it's great. Because the better you look, this ties into the second part of the video a little bit, and it's the better you look, the better you feel. And when you radiate that confidence, it will literally turn girls on. Like, when you're the guy that walks down the street with that confidence, and you can approach people and speak to people without being awkward, with the confidence that you don't feel uncomfortable in your own skin. You're not having that random thought that, oh my god, what if I what if I look fat today? What if I say something wrong? When you have that confidence and that level of security in being yourself and knowing that you look good, then it's just a massive, like, it's just a massive turn on, and it'll make such a difference in how you interact with women, and even just how they'll see you. Because I'm not going to go on some like no-fap shit and like semen retention. They'll smell that you have a nut. Fucking weirdos. But like, the way you hold yourself is different when you actually respect yourself and you have a nice body that you can look at and not think, oh shit, my left bicep is smaller than my right. I've gone up 5 kilos. When you're not worrying about stuff like that, you just have this aura of just confidence, and it's great. And it's just, you'll know it when you feel it. The next part of part 1 is having a good haircut. And I haven't really got much room here to like talk about hair, but I did have hair, promise. You need to find a hairstyle that suits your face. And luckily I've got quite a round head, so having a buzz cut suits me. I've got a very oval shaped face. So, if I had quite a square head, buzz cut wouldn't really work. It just looks a bit goofy. But the best thing I can say for hairstyles, because I'm not a barber, is to actually go to different barbers, because you don't realize how bad your barber is until you go to a different one. Like, you might be going to the best barber in town right now, but you don't know until you go to a different one. And yeah, they might fuck up your trim, but you won't know until you go. Like, I was having my haircut for £6. I was having a one on top skin fade back and sides for £6 every 2 weeks. So £12 a month. That's pretty cheap. And then one day at college, I was walking down the stairs, and one of the boys in my class was walking behind me, and he pointed out that I literally had a line by here going all the way around where he did the fade really tacky. And he wasn't very good at doing fades. And, rightly so. It was £6 for like 15 minutes of his time, half an hour of his time. Like, he's literally there on £12 an hour. Of course he's not going to put that much effort in. But then after that, I switched to a new barber, got the exact same haircut, and literally asked for the same thing. But this time I was paying more than double. I was paying £15 a haircut every 2 weeks. And it just looked so much better. Like, it actually just like changed how I saw my hair, because I could actually like be fully proud of it, and I could look at myself and be like, you know what, you actually look fucking hot. Like, you look good. After I'd come out of there, because like after I'd come out the other one, I'd be like, oh, that was alright. But when you come out and you actually like how your barber has done your hair and you actually have input, because at the other guy, I didn't feel like I could say anything because I was, it was so cheap. It was like, I feel like I'd be like, it was just awkward. But with the other guy, I had obviously more confidence because I built more muscle when I was going to him. And I actually said to him, oh, can you like square off that bit a little bit more, Can you like raise the fade a bit? And when you can actually say that to your barber and you can come away with a haircut that you're happy with, it just changes how you go about your life after that. Like it's such a small change. It sounds stupid, but it's different. And another thing is you just never get a buzz cut if you have no facial hair because it just makes you look more round and you look really like you just look like an egg, to be honest. Like I had when I first started college, I actually it was awful. I had a one on top, obviously skin fade back and sides, but I had no facial hair at that point, and it was awful. And moving on to facial hair, if you can't grow like half decent facial hair and it's just the scraggly little ratty bits that just pop out, and you'll have thought about it. You'll know if you have that, the bits that are really like curly and they just like randomly pop out by here and there, and you've got like kind of a really dodgy pedo stash going on. Just don't, because I had that, and it was bad. You just look stupid. Like, you just look like you don't own a razor, and it's just a massive turn off if a guy is not well groomed. Like, I'm always got this clean line right there, always on the other side as well. Always got this clean as well, because it's just maintaining how you look is so important, and having these little ratty, scraggly bits, it just makes you look like you don't care about your appearance, even if you think, oh yeah, I'm a man. I got facial hair. I got a beard. It's like, bro, no, you don't. Just get rid of it. Use a little beard roller. Chuck the little chemicals on or whatever that you need to grow facial hair because you haven't got enough testosterone to grow facial hair yet. Go and do all that, and then grow it out. Because I had to shave all mine off. I had to go clean shaven for a couple of months when my first like couple of hairs started going through. Then I let it come through and it looked good. I was 17 with a full beard. Like, how many people can say that? Because I didn't have the little scraggly, shitty bits. And with the haircut, you need something fairly low maintenance. Like, mine's kind of high maintenance in the fact that I need it done every week or every 2 weeks because of how short I have it. But on the other front, I can just get out of bed, get in the shower, and just go. Whereas some guys will literally sit in front of the mirror like a woman for 20 minutes doing their hair. Like, bro, come on. You really think that's raising your testosterone? Sitting in front of the women, oh, I gotta flick this over to the side or put some gel in. Come on. Fucking hell, bro. And I'll throw up like a guide by there of what facial hair and like over here what hair should fit your face shape. They're not like, you have to follow this, but it just gives you a general idea if you haven't really experimented with much hairstyles and many like different types, and just like pick one off of this. And if you can't grow any facial hair, grab the razor, you pussy. But if you haven't tried any of the hairstyles and you think you need a little change, then just pick one off of there. Don't kid yourself and say you have like a round face if you've got like some Minecraft Steve head, you know. Another part of looking good is your style and how you dress. And the only advice I can really give you for this, because I can't just say, oh, wear a t-shirt, wear this, wear that. I don't know what looks good on you. Obviously, you're a camera. But you just need to like go and try on different things and find a style that suits you. Like I'll throw up a picture of what I used to look like. It's all just when I first started college, because I just had no style, like no game, nothing. I just didn't really know much. But yeah, when I like finished school and I started college, I had knees that went like this far below, I had shorts that went this far below my knees. I had like a really awful tank top that I was wearing 5 months after starting the gym, and I just didn't have enough muscle to wear one. And I had like little bits of facial hair, and then I realized I needed to shave it off. And it's just not good. And I'm here to like stop you doing that, because you look like a dumbass. But the best advice I can give you is to just go into like a clothes shop. Like, I just went into TK Maxx. I tried on a bunch of different clothes. I tried on t-shirts. I tried on like jeans, and I eventually found that I love polos, like polo t-shirts. You know, little collars. You know, different occasions you can change which buttons you do up. It's class. They fit everything, and you know, you just need to find something that works for how you think you should look. Find something you. Don't type in on Google like best styles and shit. It's just cringe. Like, if you want to wear joggers and a t-shirt and you think you look good in it, and other people don't say you look clapped in it, then go for it. But there's a difference between comfort and looking good. Like, what I'm wearing now is just shorts and a vest, and it's comfortable. But I know when to dress appropriately. Like, I'll just wear this out, just like going to the gym, going, doing my daily stuff, whatever. But when I'm actually going out with like my family or my girlfriend or with my mates, just going anywhere that's not like you can wear whatever, it's, you know, like jeans and a polo or shorts and a polo. And you need to find you in clothes. And your style's going to change over time, but I just honestly just recommend just going into a clothes shop, pick up some shit that you think doesn't look bad, try it on a bunch of different stuff. You don't even have to buy anything. You know, it'd be a bit awkward throwing all the hangers back with all the clothes, you know, to the person sat at the little trying on area. But, you know, would you rather look like a dickhead wearing the wrong clothes for you? And that's it for part one. Part one is just, you know, looking good. And the other thing is just like basic like hygiene, bro. Like, just, bro, brush your teeth twice a day. Like, I knew someone in college who had like a little white stain on his tooth, and it's like we like we told him like, bro, brush your teeth, and then within like a couple of weeks it was gone. Bro just wasn't brushing his teeth enough. Like, twice a day, dumbass. Brush your fucking teeth. You know, use little pegs or floss, whatever, mouthwash. Like, it's just basic cleanliness shit, bro, that some people just don't get taught. You know, and just make sure you're upkeeping all that, because dental hygiene is so important for women. Like, you go to kiss a girl, or you're stood next to a girl, and you don't understand that morning breath is so real. Like, you can't smell it on yourself, but next time you wake up, grab your toothbrush, wet it, and don't put any toothpaste or anything on it. Brush your teeth and smell the toothbrush. It smells like ass. That's what your breath smells like. Honestly, it's grim. Anyway, part two is confidence. And there's not really much to say about confidence other than the fact that it's built on past experiences, because your brain is such a practical, like, learning machine that it only goes off what it has experienced and like what it's seen. You know, like, if you were to go to approach a girl, but then you were to shy away and get nervous and, like, you know, be a big old pussy, then your brain would think that she's a threat and like she's dangerous, because your brain hasn't evolved since you're a hunter gatherer. You know, if you were to see a creature and then you were to not attack it, you know, your brain would be like, oh shit, we probably shouldn't approach something like that again. It does the same for people and for women. And, you know, if you do that once, then it's automatically going to make you nervous and shy whenever you see her again. So, you know, you shy away from her once, you know, you like go to speak to her and then you don't. Then the next time you speak to her, your brain will be like, oh shit, no, that's the girl we went to talk to, no. And your brain will do that. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, but maybe like the third time you shy away, your brain will automatically register that she's, talking to her is not something you should do. So when you actually are forced to talk to her, or you're asked to borrow a pencil, you'll be like, can I borrow a pencil? And you'll embarrass yourself like a dickhead. And you'll just be sat there like, you can't even speak to this girl. But it won't just be that girl, it'll be like all girls. Because your brain will just classify, shit, girls are scary. And that's how social anxiety develops. Because, oh no, when people are scary, I can't talk to people. But if you just slowly reverse this by progressively overloading your social confidence, which is essentially just, progressively overloading in the gym. You curl 10 kilos, then the next time you go, you curl 10 kilos for more sets, more reps, then you upgrade it to, 12.5, then 15. You just need to slowly, one day speak to one person, not even a girl, just once a week, speak to a stranger. Just, in the UK, we've got the greeting, you're right? Just literally say you're right to like one person a day. It's not even hard. And then do it, have a conversation with a stranger twice a week or 3 times. And then, speak to a girl that you actually find attractive. And that's the harder step. It's like, you can speak to loads and loads of people, you don't find them attractive. You're speaking to guys, you don't love it up the bum, so you're not like scared talking to them. But then you speak to an attractive girl and you're just sat there like this, and you're awkward as fuck. And you're sat there, you're like moving your hands, you're like closed body language, you're like scared. It's like you've just been told off by your parent and you're just like trying to apologize, you just need to slowly build up that to the point where talking to a girl that you find attractive about normal shit is easy. Because try talking to a girl in like, not a sexual way, but in like a flirty way when you haven't even talked to a stranger that day. Like, that shit's hard. Like, even when you haven't done it for a day or 2, like, before you even like talk to a girl in a flirty way, you should like build it up by talking to one stranger that day. Because it's something that just kind of resets and you just kind of have to keep doing. But speaking to strangers just makes you happier. Like, you'll just find that you're never really alone when you can just speak to someone. Because that's why people are so lonely nowadays, because you talk to like, 5 people a day. When you're not going to school, you're not going to college, work, you speak to probably 5 people a day. You say hi to the receptionist at the gym, or, your mum, your family, and that's it. You don't go outside, you speak to your friend on your video games, and you just don't speak to people. But humans are like social creatures. So the fact you don't speak to people is just going against like basic biological programming that we've developed over 150,000 years. Anyway, it's just not that hard. You just progressively overload. I went to college 20 miles away from where I live. I knew 2 people at the college in the first year, and in the second year I knew no one, like from where I live. And you just kind of adapt to the social scenarios. Like, these people, like back at home, like here, where I went to school, that people would talk about football, like the boys would talk about football, like maybe once or twice a week. At college, that's all they talked about, and I was so out of my depth because I don't follow football like that close. Anyway, enough of the waffle. That's why I went to college so far away. Now I can like talk to anyone, basically. But building confidence is the same as building muscle. You just need to build up experience, and you just need to practice it daily. You go to the gym, 5-6 times a week. You just need to do the same with people. Just talk to people, bro. It's just not that deep. Anyway, enough of confidence, because you probably don't have any. Right, part 3. This is the fun one. Smelling good. And you're probably thinking, oh, I smell pretty good. No, I don't need to listen to this, but you stink. Shut up. Listen. If you smell average every single day, and then one day, you forget to put your aftershave in your bag, your spray, your Lynx Africa, whatever you use, your Dove for men, Nivea men, whatever, bro. If you smell bad for one day, people are gonna remember that, especially if you just like smell neutral for the entire rest of the time that you're with people, because it's so key to smell good every single day. It's the first thing that people are going to notice about you in close proximity, because it's the second sense that people have, like before you say a word. If you just walk into a room, the first sense that people have of you is sight. Then it's smell. I don't expect people to be tasting you, I hope. And I'm guessing you're not going to touch people straight away. So it's probably sight, smell, and then sound. So, if you're smelling bad and you look ugly and you don't know how to talk to women, the three first senses that people are going to experience when they see you are all going to be like, ugh. Like that fat guy I was talking about earlier. Bro would not smell good. He has no social skills and he's ugly. So it's just like, you wouldn't want to be around someone like that because they just are distasteful to all of your senses. All of your senses are saying, ew. And that person could be the nicest person in the whole world, but you're immediately turned off to them. You're like immediately closed off to speaking to them because you just don't want to. It's weird. It's like a primal thing. You just don't want to engage with something like that. And, it's so strange how if someone just smells bad, you just remember. And, that's why it's so key to smell good all the time. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you how, because you probably don't know. Because I didn't know until I did research on it. And you definitely are too lazy to do that. The first thing is shower every single day, but in the morning. Because, think about this. You get into bed at night after having a shower. You're getting into bed. Oh, your bed's all clean. Brilliant. You're not getting into bed with bacteria. That's excellent. But you sweat in the night. Your body does all its fixing and repairs and all that stuff at night, and it sheds dead skin cells at night. So if you wake up and you go and, some people don't even wash their face in the morning if they shower at night, right? Weird. But you wake up and you go, put on your clothes, you sometimes brush your teeth because you're a little bit of a gremlin, and then you go to school or you go to work, and you're literally walking around with yesterday's dead skin all over you, because it's not just like your feet that get dead skin. A little hard skin on the bottoms of your feet, and you might have it on like your calluses, but it's not quite the same. You've got that all over you, but you just can't see it or feel it because it's just like tiny little bits of skin that would come off with water. But you haven't had a shower. No, because getting into bed and being clean is more important. It's not like you can do your washing once a week and change your bedding once a week like you should be doing, because otherwise bacteria will literally seep into your skin while your skin's meant to be cleaning itself. Because it does that. It sheds a dermal layer, and you literally have cleaner skin the next day, which you get into the shower and you wash off the old dead skin. It's crazy. This is non-negotiable. If you want to actually start getting some hose, you need to start showering in the morning every day without fail. It's crazy. Some people go multiple days without showering, and it's just how yeah, I've done it. I've had my times where you literally can't go and have a shower. You're staying somewhere, camping, sure, whatever, but you're not going to work after doing it or going into a social setting. When you're camping, you're not expected to smell great. But speaking of smelling like sweat, do you use spray or roll-on? This is a debated question, and I personally would say that you should go for a roll-on, because most sprays and Lynx Africa and all them, I used to use the Black Dove Men antiperspirant 48-hour protection. They smell they have an odor. And, they're meant to be fragrance, they're meant to be good, but they're just not. Like, no deodorant has ever made me think, wow, that guy smells really nice, I've never smelt some Lynx Africa and gone, that. I want that. Where did you get that? Because they're just cheap. They're just made cheaply. And you don't want your deodorants to be fragrance. You don't want your, like, armpits to be fragrance. Like, what? You want your armpits to smell good. Right, okay. I'd rather use a roll-on and them not smell at all. Because what happens with a roll-on is the stuff seeps, like, into your pores and your skin where your sweat comes from. And it basically just neutralizes the smell before it smells. Whereas with a spray, it just, like, masks over the smell. And that's why some people, they'll smell like Lynx Africa and sweaty bollocks at the same time. And it's like, how? Because sprays are bad. Because the roll-ons just reduce sweat to such a high degree that sprays are just useless. Like I said, you don't want the deodorant and the spray and the roll-on to have this crazy smell. Like, mine are slightly fragranced. When I put clothes on, you can't smell it. Because now we move on to the next point. The biggest one is aftershave. This is where you actually smell good, because you just want the deodorant to make sure you don't smell bad, basically. The deodorant is only there to make sure you don't smell bad. The aftershave is there to make sure you smell good. And there we go. The thing that most people don't understand is you need different scents for different, like, events, I guess. Like, for different situations, you need to smell different. And, you're not going to go out with the boys and wear you're really dark, musky, you're sexy, intimate, seductive smell. If you only have one aftershave and you want to smell good when you go out, when you go out with the boys and you don't want to smell like Lynx Africa, they're going to look at you weird. You've got your ombre leather on, and it's like, people just look at you funny. Like, you're not trying to attract the boys. It's just weird. So, I'll give you a really easy beginner's rundown of scents. You want 3 different types of scents. Having more is great, but these are just the quick, easy 3 to get. You want a dark, leathery, like, kind of wood scent for dates and romantic environments. Where you're going to be trying to be intimate with a woman, or you're going to try and, like, approach a woman or something. You need one for that. You also want a fruity and fresh fragrance for everyday daytime use. So, you put it on before you go to school, or you put it on before you go literally anywhere during the day, before about 6 p.m. But if you're going out past 6 p.m, you want a more vanilla-y, intimate, everyday evening, like, use one. Where, it's getting kind of dark, it's in winter, so you put it on a little bit earlier. You put it on around 8 o'clock around summer. And it just is more of a close feel than your more, like, fresh smell that you would use during the day. And it'll be the top link in the description, is just where I got mine when I first started getting into fragrances and aftershaves. Because it's just, there's obviously no affiliation, like 41 subscribers or something. Yeah. And they're just cheaper. They smell the same as the premium ones. The only difference is they don't last as long. But for someone who's never, like, properly got into aftershave, you'll smell so much better than you did before. It doesn't really matter how long it lasts. Like, even if it only lasts for, like, 5 or 6 hours, which I would say these do, you can still smell it if you smell your wrist or your neck. So, if you're getting intimate with a girl and it goes well, she'll still smell it while she's close to you. But, like, more than, like, this far away, past, like, 6 hours, they don't really, like, can't really smell it all that much. But, I know you don't have, like, crazy attention span to go and research all this unless you're super interested. So I've already picked out the 3 that you're going to get. It's like a tenner. And underneath the link in the description, there's the 3 scents that you're going to go and get. It's an actionable step. You know, you've just spent 10 quid on, I don't even know, do people even play Fortnite anymore, you know? You just spent 10 quid on V-Bucks, you know. Go and actually make sure you smell good instead. Degenerate. And, you know, I've got you one for the romantic environments, the daytime use, and the evening use. And I've picked them out. I have 2 of them, and, you know, they're really good. And the last part, part 4, is mental health. And now you're probably thinking, oh, you know, no, I don't need mental health. You know, I'm already really happy. You know, I definitely don't sit there and touch myself while I look at some really degenerate stuff, and I don't watch anime and play video games and watch TV, and yeah. Oh, I know what you're like, because I know what I used to be like. I thought I was so happy, but then I actually like quit all that stuff, and I realized, wow, I actually hated my life. I never realized how happy I could be. And so it just plays a huge part in confidence, overall self-image, and self-respect. And, you know, like I said earlier, how good you feel is how good you look, and how good you look is how many like the degree to which women feel attracted towards you. And so if you feel great about yourself, the more attractive women see you as. So this is a really important step, not just in attractive women, but in like overall life. Like all 3 of these steps in part 4 are really important just for like even just daily life. Oh, one sec. Got the fruity glass. Right. Number 1 is gratitude journaling. And I actually didn't do it for so long because I thought it seemed, you know, a little bit fruity, you know, a little bit pointless. You know, you sit there, I'm grateful for my phone because it lets me set an alarm. You know, you sit there and do that. And it sounds so gay. But when you actually do it, like, proper deep thinking, like, you actually just sit there and think, you know what? I'm actually grateful for my mum for working 2 jobs when I was younger and still managing to spend time with me and create memories with me and raise me in such a way that I became someone who didn't go out and do loads of drugs and become an absolute, like, creature. Like, when you actually do deep gratitude journaling, not just surface level, I'm grateful for the sun because it's warm. Like, that stuff's fun. You know, you just going about your day, those thoughts will just come to you once you do it for a while. Because your brain has been like, you've been manually putting so many negative thoughts inside your brain for so long. You know, I said your brain's a learning machine, prediction machine, that your brain has realized, oh, we're putting negative thoughts in here. And your brain started doing it itself, you know, automatically feeding you negative thoughts. And your brain has, like, been putting you down because you've been putting yourself down. Like, when you don't go to the gym for a day or 2 and you skip out on the gym, you think, oh, I'm so lazy, I'm such a slob. You cheat on your diet for one day and you're like, oh, I'm so useless, so unproductive. You know, you can't focus at school and you just think, like, I'm just trying to study. What's going on? Or you put on a bit of weight. You know, the list goes on. Every time that you think negative thoughts about yourself and about how things are going, even about other people, if you look at a woman across the street and just think, gosh, she's so fat. It's like, yeah, bro, because the doctors and scientists have lied to her and told her that grains are the way to lose weight. You know, oh, eat wholemeal bread. You know, eat high carbs, low fat, low sugar. You know, like, yeah, the low sugar bit's good, but don't replace it with sweeteners. You know, like, you just think negative about so many things and so many people that your brain has started doing it itself. Like, you instantly judge people based on how they look. And I said, not like earlier, that that's normal, but not to the degree that which we do it nowadays. Like, you instantly look at someone and think, wow, you fat fuck. Like, you instantly do that. And it's like, yeah, but they've got their own problems. They've got reasons for being that fat. Yeah, they can lose their weight. Yeah, I'm still going to call them lazy. But there's reasons behind it. And when you start gratitude journaling, you start like manually putting these positive thoughts into your brain, and it offsets the negative. And for the first couple of days, it won't straight away do anything. It won't do anything probably for the first couple of weeks. You'll probably just feel like a bit of an idiot, writing down, oh, I'm grateful for light because it allows me to see, stupid stuff like that. But then you get a little bit better at it. You start doing a bit more deep. You start realizing that the people around you have actually done so much for you that you never realized, and that you've been really ungrateful. And then you start to see the world from a different point of view. Instead of going from this side, from, oh, look at that guy, he's so fat, he's so lazy, all this, you think, yeah, but he's been brainwashed. He still believes in the food pyramid and the food plate that we've got fed in bloody Great Britain. Like, you just start to see things more positively, and you can be more optimistic about things. Because I used to be so pessimistic. I used to just think about things and be like, just always seeing the negative side. But now I can sit here more, from more stoic perspective and think, right, this is a situation. It's not a very good situation, but how do I tackle it? Whereas before I would just think, oh, it's all hopeless, it's stupid anyway, I don't want to do it. And, your brain actually starts bigging you up. And when you switch more to this side, you start thinking, wow, I actually look good. Because body dysmorphia is only negative thoughts being implanted into yourself by your brain. Since gratitude journaling, zero body dysmorphia, bro. None. I know how I look, and I'm okay with that. I'm not thinking, oh, I'm 15% body fat, I'm so fat, or I can't see my six-pack anymore, I can't... no, I'm just, I'm bigger than, 95% of people I know, what's going on? But people see that, normal people with this awful, their brain's been feeding them terrible thoughts for 35 years, and they want to hate, they hate everyone because they want to kill themselves. And it's yeah, and I'm not surprised. You get 150 negative thoughts a day that you didn't even create. And they'll think that you're an egotistical narcissist because their thoughts are so bad, and you think so highly of yourself because you should, because you work hard. And if you go to the gym, you should big yourself up for that. Every time I go past a mirror, I just look at myself and I think, I'm grateful to my past self because he went to the gym for me. And when I flex in that mirror, I'm not flexing for me. I'm not sat there going, wow, I'm so cool. I'm thinking, this is what he did. I'm grateful for my past self for doing this. I didn't do this. I'm going to the gym for him. For the guy, 3 months down the line, he's going to have a 1-inch bigger bicep because of me. I don't get the results now. But it's just such an important part, and I've spent so long on this one topic because I just want you to realize, I want to convince you to just try it. Give it 2 weeks, and if you still think it's fruity, then just, fine, stop. But I'm telling you now, it'll change your life. Because if I went back into my body 6 months ago with the same, mindset that I had then, I would realize, I would just think I was so, negative. I just go outside. And when was the last time you looked at the sun and thought, wow, I'm grateful for the sun? Because if it didn't exist, we'd freeze and die. I thought that thought 2 days ago when I was about to drive to work. And it just changes your life. And it's great. And the second easy boost is meditation. And I know everyone always talks about meditation, so I'm not going to go on about it for long. But it's so useful in all aspects of your life because it just grounds you. And it allows you to take in your surroundings fully without trying to live life at 300 miles an hour. So most people have an ADHD brain without even having ADHD. Most people who think they have ADHD don't. They just have a terrible attention span paired with their mind running at 300 miles an hour. But when you meditate, you can just slow down. Your brain isn't meant to think, oh, I'm late for work, but I haven't packed that thing in my bag, and oh my God, I can't find my shoe. Oh, oh, I've got to do that thing later. Oh my God, I'm late. Oh, I've got to reschedule that appointment tomorrow. Like, meditating just allows you to be more organized, process things more. Like, even though your mind moves slower, on the contrary, it actually lets you process things quicker and more deeply. And you actually get to think. And you can focus on one thing fully at a time. Like, I've had no other thoughts while recording this other than what I'm going to say and how to articulate my speech, because of the fact that I've meditated. And the fact that I do meditate. Like, I'm looking to the side because I can see myself, like, to make sure that my camera hasn't turned off. But I'm just trying to look at this dot on my little camera right there, little dot, and I'm just no thoughts. And there's another benefit about meditation that no one actually talks about, and it's great for like building discipline and for quitting bad habits. Right, just like think back to the last time that you cheated on your diet. Like, close your eyes and just think. When was the last time that you cheated on your diet and you gave in to the desire and you had that mental battle? Right, you can open your eyes now, dickhead. Didn't even close them, did you? You grab that chocolate bar or the crisps or whatever your vice is, your weakness, and you stared at it for a second, and you had a tiny mental battle in your mind. You were there like, oh, but it's not good for me. I'm trying to get leaner in the gym, and then you just unwrapped it anyway because you were like, no, I want it. I want it. And that thought was the one that won. But meditation gives you a spacer of consciousness between the desire and doing the bad habit. Like, it gives you a split second to decide whether you actually want to do the negative thing or not. And, it gives you more clarity during that mental battle. You probably were a video gamer or are. Imagine you're fighting a dragon and it's got 500 health. And this is like, that chocolate bar is the dragon. And that mental battle, you just lose it every time because you can't deal enough damage in the time frame allotted in that fight. You have 5 milliseconds and then he one-shots you. But this, like, meditation gives you, 100 extra damage. It gives you, like, that, like, little extra push that you need to win that mental battle. And the more that you meditate, the more your damage goes up. The more time that it gives you, and the more likely you are to win the mental battle, and the less likely you are to be undisciplined. And just no one talks about this. I don't know why. Because it's such a useful part of meditation. Anyway, I've got about 5.5 minutes before my camera turns off, so let's get to the last point. I've already recorded for 55 minutes. If you're seeing this, probably knowing this, I can't lie, I'm just wasting my time. But I'm going to finish anyway. Discipline. But the last point is going outside. Because just seeing sunlight activates the dopamine receptors in your brain from your eyes, which literally make you happier. You also get vitamin D from the sun, obviously, which is a precursor to testosterone. And the higher your testosterone, the more likely you are to chase after your goals and to achieve your goals. And when you achieve a goal you've been working on for a while, probably inside a video game because you probably haven't achieved much, sorry. But, when you achieve a goal, you get so happy. And like when you've been chasing this thing for so long, the rush it gives you is so like refreshing. So literally just going outside makes you happier. And think about this, right? Our ancestors, 10,000 years ago, they didn't have they'd live in a cave, cavemen, whatever. They would build a little hut. But they wouldn't go in that hut during the day. Our ancestors would spend at least 16 hours a day outside. They would spend all their time that they were awake outside in the sun. The only time that they didn't was nighttime, because obviously the sun's gone. and the sun's away. And so humans are designed to be outside in the sun all day. Now just listen to this statistic a sec. Over 60% of adults report spending 5 or less hours outside in nature each week. That's less than 45 minutes a day. No wonder people want to kill themselves. We're designed to spend 16 hours in the sun, and people are spending 45 minutes. It's not even 1/16 of what you're meant to spend outside. Again, that's literally going against basic biological human programming. We're not functioning as humans anymore. We're not even, doing the things we're meant to do. Humans are meant to, go outside and run after an animal for 2 hours. We have we have the most stamina out of any creature when it comes to long distance running, and most people can't even run 100 meters. It's crazy. We're literally not even human anymore. We're evolving into something different, something worse, something that's not going to benefit our species. Because we literally don't even go outside. Also, 45 minutes a day, I know people who go outside literally not even once a day. I used to be one of the people that on a weekend, I wouldn't even go outside. From Friday afternoon till Monday morning, there were times when I did not leave the house. When I was 16. No, probably when I was 15. There were times when I just did not leave. It's ridiculous. How? How are we so lazy nowadays that we don't even spend a couple of hours outside? Andrew Huberman always talks about early sunlight exposure, but you don't just need that. You need at least 2 hours outside every day just to get sufficient vitamin D. The acceptable IUs of vitamin D nowadays are so low. It's ridiculous how low the recommended dose. Because I've seen people suffering with 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. Let's check what recommended vitamin D is. Got it by here somewhere. Here we go, vitamin D3. There we go. 62 UGs, and that's apparently 1.25 times the amount you're meant to have a day. 10,000 IUs is about 5,000 of that. So, the recommended dose is only 5 times too small, which is great. But I can't go on a rant about the government. That'll be another video. Just lowering health standards to the point where obese people are normal. So, yeah, hopefully that helped. I don't think anyone's actually going to see this, but if you are watching this right now, thank you, because watch time is good. Recommended section. Yeah, just do the actionable steps, and you might actually be able to just get some hose, Anyway, that's all from me. Have a good day and a great week. Mwah.